Uh, Start. Ohio gozaimasu. Ein kleiner Stream am Morgen. Wir hatten im letzten Part ein Dead Bad End, wo Shiro gegen Basette kämpfen musste und Basette uns ihr besondere Waffe gezeigt hat, ihr besonderen Mystic Code gezeigt hat, nämlich das Schwert Freierach vom Kriegsgott Luke. Endless. I awaken from the darkness. It's October the 8th again, as usual. We're back at the start.
さて、うちのマスターは
Beautiful, defenseless as always. In a way that aroused nearby man, namely me. She looks like a normal girl when she's sleeping. Whenever I see her like this, I get an overwhelming urge to really go to town on her. It's probably because she always wearing that armor when she's awake. Thinking of her in terms of that rule of 10. The woman sleeping here as peacefully is, after subtracting 10 from 23, a mere brat of 13. Right on the cusp of puberty. And with this in front of me, it'd be weird if the urge didn't arise to play some kind of prank on her.
しかし
No. But no, it's not the time for it. The time, Basset did a good job. Using my noble fantasy and Basset because together, to maximum effect, we defeated master after master. In the end, we even crushed Saber, who up until now had turned the tables on us every time. False copy of inscribed creation. Work Avesta. My noble phantasm, which sealed Saber's movement away by inflicting a fatal wound, or at least what seemed like one, on her. The panic behind this is a curse of retribution, a curse that inflicts the victim's wound upon the attacker as well. If I was slashed across the chest with a sword, then my opponent would feel the same pain. And if my arm were cut off, my attacker would lose the feeling in his arm as well. It's a passive noble phantasm to the end, but it has a huge point in its favor of ensuring that retribution will be carried out no matter what. Originally, this sort of reversal curse had hardly any effect on heroic spirits with strong magic resistance. Against my magic resistance as strong as Sabers, it should, on the contrary, just make the damage to me even worse. But once the condition for its use are met, false copy of inscribed creation, Work Avesta, will completely ignore its target magic resistance. There are just two. It can only be used once against the same target. And the other one who cast the curse must not have yet died yet. When I told the noble phantasm, she said,
あなた、本当に生き残ることに特化しているのね。そんな宝具を持っているんじゃ、誰もあなたを殺せないわ。
I got angry for some reason. It was as though she was saying she couldn't forgive a guy who'd wear such perfect safe zone. But there's nothing so convenient as that. Worker West is the kind of noble phantasm that evokes itself, if you carefully determine the right time to use it. It's a spell, so someone has to actually be around to cast it.
それはつまり、即死はいけない。
Yup. How very insightful. It should somehow go without saying, right, I can't reflect the curse back to the attacker if I'm dead.
すみません。また早合点をしてしまった。確かに、あなたの宝具は使いどころが難しい。
Yep. You said it. if what I have is reflect is just a shadow wound, the damage to the opponent is small. On the other hand, if I try to take serious damage, I could die the instant I received injury. The preparations I have to make to use it are difficult, for sure, but what's really important is that it's impossible to kill the enemy with Verga Vesta. I can't even aim for simultaneous strike with theirs. I can't return wounds up on a point that don't kill me, but I can't lay a scratch on them if I'm already dead. Therefore, what the best I can hope is to take a nearly fatal wound. Then someone survive long enough to send it back to my attacker. It's really a roundabout way of doing things. But that was more than enough for me this time around. That's because I got master of an ace up her sleeve that activates the power of a noble phantasm. A quasi-noble phantasm. Nah, it would be a mistake to call it that. It's one of the few that after the passage of untold millennia has remained until the present day, a genuine noble phantasm. The noble phantasm serves are just objects that are owned by the lived, and are nothing more than lost legends today. But Basset, no, those of the Fraga bloodline have. Somebody kept charge of and handed down the sword until the present day. Fraga's ability are those of a simple ray of light, but its additional effects are truly interesting. It can be evoked for use simply through being charged with special energy. Rather, it's an interception armament specialization solely encountering. It won't be awaked unless faced with the opponent's greatest attack. As soon as the enemy starts the attack, Fragarach will activate itself on them before they can finish it. Fragarach is an attack with the power to go against the flow of time. As a result of its use, look at how Saber went down for your answer. Once time comes down the face-off between two noble phantasms, nobody can stand up to Basset. If there's another noble phantasm out there that can beat it, it need more than just speed or strength. It would need to have something about it that could undermine Fragarach's special characteristic. As far as I know, there's nobody with a freaking ridiculous noble phantasm like that. Well, except for the one bastard, maybe. I repeat myself, but in a fight between noble phantasms, Basset is pretty close to a god of war. Then the rest is simple. I use my noble phantasm to its maximum effect to pave the way for her. I drive the enemy serve in the corner and lead them using their own noble phantasm. And after that I do is shelter for Basset. The timing of Fragarach's invocation or the difficulty of activating it are now of no concern to me. Whatever kind of pain and hardship is felt by the body of a human tasked with bearing a cursed sword from the age of gods, it makes no difference as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Basset never made so much as one wrong move in all this time. As partner, that's probably the part of her most worthy of praise. Thanks to that, she was even able to beat Saber. Only the Einsmaß remains, the last thing to Basset's heart, desires almost within her grasp. Man, the fact that things have gone smoothly means we must have also about as high as the stars in the night sky on our side. To put bluntly, there was about a 1 to 4,000 chance that it would turn out so well. Wow! There's a number of stars that can be seen with the naked eye.
しかしまあそれも一からやり直しだけどな。
Basset's eyelid began to flutter. She takes a pain-sounding breath, but then as a thought, revealed lapse back into calm silence. Should be another 20 seconds or so before she wakes up. Well then, once she's awake, she'll be itching for a fight, so I guess I'll go help Basset to the corner, where I can shake and tremble in fear. If I try messing with her like usual, there's a very good chance she'll send my head on a permanent vacation from the rest of my body. I guess it's the last time I'll be able to see her clearly. Scratching my head at the travel, but lingering attachment and feeling a retreat to the safe zone. My consciousness slowly returns, overwhelmed with a fatigue so heavy that my body feels made out of lead. I take another deep breath and feel fulfilled. I've repeated this tutorial countless times now, rebirth to rebirth. Once again I've returned from the horrid abyss of death and came back here. No, that should be the case. Why again? Even though I was suddenly I would defeat Saber this time.
ブレてなんていない。私たちは一度も負けなかったのに。
Zu langsam? Ich meine nur, du hast nur 4 Tage Zeit. After the birth, my eyesight is always fuzzier while I should survive the unit under the room. Angra Mino is not in his usual chair. He's off in a corner, the room fiddling with a puzzle.
よう、目が覚めたか、マスター。生き返った気分はどうだ？
The same greeting as always. Like every time we return to this night after a defeat, I confirm the usual matters with him.
アベンジャー、私たちは一体どうしたのです？セイバーを倒して日付が変わって、それから。
I have no memories after that. I have no memories of the fourth night after defeating
それ
Saber.
からって、ここに戻ってきたんだよ。そんなの言わなくてもわかるだろう。
He appears as no more than a shadow, almost hidden from the view. Yep, es dauert nicht zu lang. All I can sense of him is his presence in the room. And he's grinning, the laughing face of the demon that delights in watching human torment.
アンリ・マユ、答えなさい。これはどういうことだ？私たちはセイバーを倒した。ライダーもアサシンもキャスターもアーチャーも倒した。あとはアインツベルンのバーサーカーを倒すだけだった。なのにどうしてまた1日目に戻っているのです？
I slam my fist to the sofa. My body is still stiff from rigor mortis. Moves through the force of my angel alone. My servant, Angra Mainyu, hasn't moved from the corner of the room, but remains there, gazing at me as he grins.
なぜ答えないのです？あなたは私のサーバントでしょ？お互い協力し合って戦ってきたのに、どうして？
Irritation and disappointment sent the words rushing out of my mouth like water through a burst dam. Well, of course, I knew from the start the servant was not be trusted. I don't know why I'm letting myself feel so disappointed.
なぜも何もないだろ、マスター。言ったはずだぜ。俺たちは聖杯戦争を永遠に続けられるんだってな。セイバーを倒したところで4日目が終われば元通りさ。あんたが殺されようと誰が聖杯を手に入れようと4日目が終わればこの夜に戻れる。例外はない。俺たちは聖杯戦争に参加する限りこの4日間を繰り返すんだ。それをさ、今さらなぜなんて言うなよ、マスター。そりゃ身勝手だろう。あんたは何度死のうがこの夜に戻ってきた。何度負けようが一からやり直すことができた。あんたはそんな都合のいいことに何の疑いも持たず。
Wicked laughter. My knees fall to the floor as I attempt to stand up. I still can move my legs so pathetic between my body without proper blood circulation and my personality that lets Avenger rile me up so easily. I feel I was as cool as composed as a child.
アベンジャー、あなたはこういうのですね。私たちが敗れようと勝ち残ろうと関係ない。4日目の夜になれば強制的にこの夜に戻ってしまう。
はい。
この4日間では死なない代わりにこの4日間しか存命できない。それが私が得た不死身のルールなのだと。
はい。
大当たり、実に的を射ている。そっか、初めっからそう説明すればよかったんだな。
Das hat er eigentlich doch nicht. My son began whistling an entirely exaggerated display of high spirits. Of course, an explanation like this doesn't begin to solve the riddle. There's still a valuable mountain of fashion I need to ask him. First of all,
どうして4日間でリセットされるのです？それがあなたの能力の限界だからですか？
ich will sagen, weil er am 4. Tag des Heiligen Grals, des dritten Heiligen Gralskriegs gestorben ist, soweit ich weiß.
さあ、理屈なんざ知らねえよ。ま、1日じゃなくてよかったんじゃないか。
4日目から先に行くにはあなたの宝具に頼らなければいいのですか？
さあ、これは俺の宝具じゃなくて俺と契約したあんただけの特権だ。なんとかするのは俺じゃなくてあんただよ。
では4日以内に聖杯戦争に勝利すればいいのですか？そうすればこの現象はストップすると。
さあ、まだ試してないがそれで止まってくれればいいな。このままだと 俺たちはずっと4日間から抜け出せない。
I grit my teeth. There are no use in talking to Avenger if he can't answer my question or if he doesn't feel like giving me any serious
俺
answers.
たちはずっと4日間から抜け出せない。
Up until now, I thought that all I need was to win against others without dying myself, but the reality of it is, as long as I'm restricted to win these 4 days, they become a boundary that cannot move beyond 4 days. Whether or not I can defeat the other master in 4 days.
不可能だ。4日ではどうやっても。
I can defeat 6 masters in 4 days. This time. No. Last time when I beat Saber, I was by limit. We got incredibly lucky in those last 4 days of battle. Of everything that this repetition have taught us. That last time was just about the most perfect conceivable playthrough possible. And even then we weren't able to reach Einspan. However, I make my way through them. At the very end of the 4 days, a single enemy still remains.
ではやり方を変える。バカな、それこそ。
If I wait for other masters to come, find me and try to make me out, my 4 days would run out just like that. And even if I fought the furthest limits of my strength, it wouldn't be enough to make a difference in the hand. In the first place, I only have 3 uses of Ragnarok available for head-to-head fights like the one against Saber. One I need to use against Einspan, and one against Saber. So the last one I should use on a servant that can't be separated from the master. No, when I've tried to fight like that, I didn't even make it past the 2nd day. Moreover, the other masters aren't our only opponents. The swarm of unknown familiars and the Marios controlling them. Say that by only unthinkable miracle, we'll be able to win the war even after that. We'll still have this 8th army who would never so much as seen before with the sight of the Holy Grail to get rid of.
なんてこと。これじゃまるで。
As though I'm fighting slowly for the sake of continuing the Holy Grail war. As long as my contract with Avenger is still in effect, I can never move beyond these 4 days. So in that case, I just need to break the contract.
どうしたマスター。
Dann wirst du gleich sterben,
なん
Bassett.
か言いたいことでもあるのか。
いいえ、めまいを起こしただけです。蘇生して間がないので。
No, that's one thing I can't do. There's only one solution. Abiding the terms of my contract with Avenger, I must win this Holy Grail war. Even though I already know it's impossible, I must destroy the fetters that bind me to these 4 days.
質問は終わりか。なんだ。もっと激しくなると覚悟してたんだけどな。
The shadow smile hasn't left his face. He's getting on my nerves. That guy I've been completely lacking motivation from the start. Even though he's the one who brought me out here. He acts like he doesn't care a thing for the war and keeps saying stuff like, all I need to do is kill enemies, right? Even without any clear goal, he's just going along with it. He's going along with the Holy Grail without paying his mind to my troubles. It's like he's just enjoying this fighting that goes on forever.
そうだ。あなたはこう言っていた。聖杯戦争を続けようと。始めようでも終わらせようでもない。ただ続けようと言ったんだ。アンリマユ。
Advanced ability gave us these 4 days. So does this mean everything is going just the way Avenger wants to? The repetition of these 4 days occurs because of his man wish to continue the fighting and
アベ
killing?
ンジャー、もう一度聞きますが、4日間の縛りはあなたの意思ではないのですね。これはただマスターを蘇生させるための副作用に過ぎないと。
ああ。死者をその場で蘇生させるなんてことはできない。こうして一番初めに戻ってやり直すしか手はないんだ。俺と契約している限り、マスターは死ぬことはない。それがどうして4日間だけなんて制限がついたのかは、俺にもわからない。そうだな。聖杯を司るアインツベルンのマスターなら、そのあたりのからくりに気づ。
Oh! The voice of Avenger, now that Angry Minus speaks without falsehood. He's telling me the truth, at least what I want to believe.
アベンジャー、聖杯にかけるあなたの望みは何ですか？
This state of affairs is what you wish for. Swallowed by those words, down unspoken. I can't go saying that now. I have no proof it is true, and besides, I have a hunch the moment I speak those words from the moment on, and I will be enemies.
俺の望みは変わってないよ。聖杯戦争に勝ったら何を望む？いや、もともとどんな望みを持ってあんたは冬木の町にやってきた？
え？
The smile has disappeared from the shadow's face. From out the shadows, Avenger eyes bore into mine. His face deadly serious.
いえ、それは。
What was he going to wish for exactly? A wish? My wish? I don't possess such a thing. If you forced it out of me, you would probably say to win the war and obtain Holy Grail is my goal.
でも。
That's wrong. The moment I think that this assaults me, there's something I'm searching for. Something I want even more than Holy Grail.
なあ、何を探してるんだあんた。
思い出せない。私はまだ記憶が不確かなようです。
本当に？初めからなかっただけじゃなく
I fixed up a glare on the shadow. The blood is finally returning to my numb legs, and I finally can move them freely
無駄
again.
話は終わりだ、アベンジャー。あなたがどんなサーバントだったのか、初心に帰って対応することにします。
そりゃ残念。せっかく息が合ってきたってのに、また疑心暗鬼の日々か。
それが嫌なら少しは。いえ、私が気を引き締めればいいだけの話でした。アベンジャー、今夜から方針を変えます。聖杯戦争に勝ち残るのは、あなたの能力がなぜ4日間に限定されているのか、その原因を突き止めてからだ。
Ist zumindest eine gute Idee. There's no possible way we can win this war in only 4 days. In that case, we just need to find out why everything ends once those 4 days have passed.
なるほど。冴えてるね、マスター。けど具体案はないぞ。俺にだってわからねえんだから。
具体案なら、先ほどあなたが提示してくれたでしょ。自殺行為ですが、試してみる価値はある。それに、死んでもいいのが私たちの利点ですから。
I have to do whatever it takes. The situation the way it is, I can't trust them. That's why I need to find someone else who knows Angra Mainyu and the other heroic spirits better than they know it themselves.
ちょっと待った。さっきのは冗談だって。やめようよ。敵の本拠地に攻め込むなんて正気じゃねえって。とんでもなく痛い思いするだけだよ。
Whenever or not, that's how he really feels. Angra Mainyu is opposing me with all his might. This way he's looking at me with those bleeding eyes. I can't help but think he lost a puppy. He looks like a puppy, and admit that it's somehow charming. But I'll be damned if I let crack his uncalculated attempts to shame my sympathy, throw me off track.
変更はありません。準備をなさい、アベンジャー。
Yep.
目的地は郊外の森。これから2日をかけてアインツベルンの
Shouldering reach, and with this disgruntled Avenger, with disgruntled Angra Mainyu in tow, I put the mansion behind me. The first terrible guy's hand is my pocket, and I tightly grip the earring inside it. Please, let good luck be with me. At the end of our struggle towards the winter castle, I may find my answer I seek. Next. 5. Void. Once again. I had a dream that has nothing to do with me. and now I have headache, probably caused by my irregular schedule of going to sleep and waking up at all different times. And just before 6 o'clock in the morning, the light coming through the window is a little bright, and the breeze sleeping through the gaps is a little chilly. I never who agree what's happening at night. The city of Yuki meets its end on the 4th day. A newcomer that did not exist until it now has appeared. The incoherent force pops in my head for a moment and then disappears for the race. Even though I never seen or heard these things before, the runner next to me is telling me that they are fictitious, yet real.
よし、朝の支度をしに行くか。
I shake off my odd delusions. The only dream I had last night was one about preparing for the Kushner festival. I didn't have any other strange dreams. The sky is bright and clear. I go spend another day selfishly filling up an empty room.
じゃ、先に行くわね。シロウもさくらちゃんも遅刻しないで来るのよ。
Officially heard to take off to work. The time just past 7 o'clock. The Tomstress table usually takes or the carefree air once she leaves, but today a dangerous topic has been brought up.
先輩、最近街の様子がおかしい気がするんですけど、これって。
Was meinst du, Sakura?
聖杯戦争の時と同じ空気だって言うんでしょ。
It's been 7 days since the Tomstress has changed. Saber Rider got inexplicably urged to fight. Despite having brought the topic up eventually, we decided that since we don't know anything, everybody should just investigate at their own pace.
さくら、そろそろ登校の時間です。あ、ほんとだ。ありがとう、ライダー。すぐに片付けちゃうからね。いけません。後片付けは私とシロウで行いますから。お客さんみたいですね。ちょっと出てきます。もしやまたあの新聞勧誘でしょうか。だとするとさくらには荷が重い。
Ryder stands up and I sense bloodlust drifting slowly through the air. Seems like the problem of frequent solar sitting has gotten the particular bad around here.
ライダーが出るまでもないよ。相手が新聞勧誘ならさくらの圧勝だ。得意。はあ。シロウがそういうのなら静観しますが、本当にさくらはああいった手合いに強いのですか？もうむちゃくちゃに。チャンピオン級。けど知ってる人が近くにいるとやりづらいとか言ってたんで、おとなしくさくらが帰ってくるのを。
Wait for her to come back is what I was going to say. Total had required 30 seconds, having already replied to overly persistent salesman or champion.
ただいま。みんな変わりはなさそうね。
Hi, Bin!
は？
Our champion has come back. Oh?
何よ、みんな固まっちゃって。あ、もしかして私の背中に悪趣味な幽霊でもついてる？
Ich mag, wie die alle einfach nur negativ wurden.
あっちゃー。向こう出るときにちゃんと除霊したんだけどな。出費を渋って1年生に任せたのがまずかったか。
Possibly mutters something disturbing. Behind her stands an embarrassed looking Sakura.
で、どう？後ろにいるのはどんな幽霊？まさか長い黒髪で柳の下が似合いそうな恨み系？
Just how much of that was intentional? The air feels too tense to be a joke.
違いますよ、姉さん。お化けなんてついてきてません。ね。そう？よかった。ずいぶんと強い思念だから心配しちゃった。そっか。後ろにいたのはさくらだけだものね。ごめんなさい。幽霊なんか問題じゃなかったわ。はい。私でしたら恨み事の前に直談判とかしたいです。
いきなり出てきたくせに大きな顔しないでくださいって。
Sie wirkt gerade so feindlich.
たった1ヶ月で言うようになったわね、マトウさん。
先輩こそ1ヶ月も留守にしてたのに家主顔しないでください。
The officially sisters love. Scary. This is definitely scary. We are going to die. The next time these two open their mouth, the Emirates will turn into a living hell. That's why I said that seeking help from London will end up in a worse disaster. However, I'm the true master of the Emir House. I can't allow these rehearsed to become these devils' battleground.
そこまでだ、二人とも。
Prepare to die a honorable death, with no one to pick up my corpse and get up from my seat.
とまあ、冗談はこれぐらいにしておきましょうか、さくら。
はい、ちょっと悪趣味すぎましたね、これ。
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, echoes the clock. My half risen back and stretched out arm hang motionless in mid-air.
何今の。
いい先制攻撃でしょ。向こう流のちょっとした冗談をさくらと一緒に再現してみました。
はい、玄関に出迎えに行った時、先輩を驚かせるからって姉さんから要請があったんです。
Servus, ich kann leider kein Japanisch. I don't speak Japanese too good. I try to learn myself. Ich kann zum Beispiel nicht mit deinen Namen komplett lesen. Ich kann nur die Katakana lesen. Und davon auch nicht alle. Ich bin mir bei den letzten Katakana nicht mehr sicher, was es heißen soll. Yatui. They look really happy. When did the sisters get so chummy?
オーケー、それは分かった。冗談は選べと抗議したいが、今のが冗談って本当に良かった。それは別にしてだ。なんでここにいるんだよ、トサカ。
Not from everyone around.
なんでって SOS があったからに決まってるでしょ。私だって暇じゃないんだから気晴らしで帰ってきたりしないわよ。
あ？ SOS って誰が？
エミヤくんでしょ。何でもいいからすぐ助けに来てくれってしつこいぐらい書いてあったじゃない。
あ？そんなバカな。遠坂に助けを呼ぶぐらいなら死を選びかねないこの俺が？命は。
ずいぶんな言い草ね。あなた私のことなんだと思ってるのよ。魂まで取るなんてそれじゃあ悪魔か何かじゃない。
Nein, du bist nicht tough, aber der Service, little devil.
それだ。自分の胸に手を当てて思い返せ。夏休み、イリアの城でお前がしでかした悪行。あれが悪魔でなくて何だというのだ、この人。
あれは緊急時における苦渋の選択よ。私だって好きでエミヤくんを生贄にしたわけじゃないわ。
I guess he totally thinks it was inexcusable. Her answer doesn't have much of a bite to it. That's good, very good. Back then, I very narrowly avoided being reborn twice, but it looks like even Tosca is reflecting on her actions. Well, anyhow.
とにかく覚えはないけど、俺が遠坂に SOS を送って、それで帰ってきてくれたってことか。
そう言ってるでしょ。エミヤくんから頼まれない限り私が帰ってくるわけないじゃない。
それはロンドンの用事をほっぽり出して。
そうよ、悪い？仕方ないじゃない。あんなの読んだら気になって眠れなくなったんだから。だいたい冬木は私の管轄地よ。頼まれなくたって様子を見に来るのは当然じゃない。
She turns her face away, peevishly. Then with a luggage in hand, she turns back to the hallway.
とにかくしばらくこっちにいるから。何か相談事があったら夜あたりに部屋まで来なさい。私も昼間のうちに街の様子を調べておいてあげるから。
See you. She runs to leave the scene.
そういう わけですから、皆さんよろしくお願いします。姉さん、途中で帰ってきちゃって照れくさいみたいです。
Saber and Ryder, who haven't had the time to digest the situation just yet, simply not.
そっか。リンが帰ってきたんなら、もうじき解決しちゃうわけね。
Illa stares off in the distance, seemingly somehow lonely. I haven't settled on whatever I rejoice or panic just yet. What we know for sure is another missing piece has just fallen into place. Anyway, Tosaka is back. There will be no solution without outside help. After searching Tosaka's assistance, send the summons. Second act starts. Without knowing what's going on, you can't defeat the enemy. Arriving at the first incident, meet the girl that will be your guide. Ich glaube, ich werde schon wieder treffen müssen, Karen. Okay, wir haben nur Tosaka zur Auswahl.
おい、登坂。ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだが。
鍵なら開いてる
わよ。Vote, there's some kind of response. I can't really make out what it is.
すまん、よく聞こえない。
なあ、もう。なに、鍵なら開いてるわよ。
The restful voice and annoyed response come from inside the room. For some reason, Tosaka seems to be in a bad mood. Is it really safe to open the door? But if I slip away after calling out to her, I don't want to think about what happened to me afterwards.
うわ、なんだこれ。
Without explaining, Tosaka's room is so messy that there isn't anywhere to stand. Considering the number of days she has been back, this is truly astonishing.
なに、そんなことを言いに来たの？
And at Tosaka's glare, I can tell that she's really in a full mood.
いや、そういうわけじゃない。
じゃあ何の用かしら？見ての通り片付けてとっても忙しいんだけど。
片付け？
何が言いたいのかしら、エミヤくん。
Whoops, I just blurted out what's on my mind. Right before me stands a red devil, smiling sweetly, wearing the mask of Tosaka-rin, the honor student.
いや、なんでもない。用事の方も本当にちょっとしたことだったんだ。
そう、じゃあ後にしてもらえる？
ああ、邪魔して悪かった。
I back away, making sure not to lose eye contact and close the door.
しかしまあ。
The ability to make that much of a vessel for mess while trying to tidy up and still managed in the end is really a talent. It's just 9 PM and dinner's end already over. There's no major events and everyone's returned to their rooms. It's too early to go to bed, so I shall do in the meantime. Ah! Naturally, there's the one at the harbor at night. I sure know one guy would be enthusiastic enough to try night fishing, but even he seems to have retreated to his dwelling already.
けど、教会には帰ってなさそうだよな、ランサー。どっかの廃屋でキャンプしてるとか、空き家に忍び込んでるとか。
For a moment, an image comes to my mind. A place that much to his liking, both well stuck in the cell, just perfect for trespassers and squatters.
いくらランサーでもそこまでは。
There's no telling what kind of traps might be in there. Who knows, maybe he's freeloading of the Fushimura group.
なんだって教会に近づかないんだ、あいつ。
Not only Lance, but even the Goldie is staying away. Right now, there should be no one in the church. Does this mean the owner of this abandoned place has returned from the dead? October sea breeze. It's really cold. I'll go investigate somewhere else before I get a chill. Nee, auf Waku Waku Splash habe ich jetzt keine Lust. Oh, Shinji. Aber wir gehen mal zu Lanza. At the harbor, there's a familiar face. Lanza can be found anywhere, but asking for cooperation. Well then, I don't have to show myself how I reached this conclusion, but I feel that to defeat an enemy I haven't seen, I need help of others. Archer is out of the question. Carson is currently a pacifist. Assassin might as well be a statue. Ryder simply doesn't care as long as she can protect Sakura. Ila is annoying herself, just sitting on the sidelines and watching. That means he's the only one left.
Oi, Lancer!
I wave and greet him. Complicated rhetoric doesn't work on this guy, so I get straight to the point. I explain the best I can, the normality of these 4 days, how even though we've never met, I'm vaguely aware of the 8th master appearance and fighting style. The Lady Mario is part of the abnormality happening now, and since Saber and I are poor matched for her, perhaps I could borrow the support of another servant. Lancer doesn't turn around at all. His eyes are lazily staring the sky, looking more and more displeased.
確認するが、その女、赤毛のショートでスーツ姿か
Hi? She has? Oh Gott, der schneit. Ich hasse Schnee.
ああ、革手袋をつけて殴ってくる。
イヤリングはしていたか
ね、確かしてなかったかな。
ラスト。そいつ、5体満足だったか
は？そりゃ、5体満足って言えばそうだけど、服の下のことまでは断言できないぞ。
And the question stop here. Lancer sides.
ご苦労なこった。くたばった後も戦うことはねえだろうに。
He grumbles.
まあさ、そいつが何者なのかはまだわからない。ただ、敵であることは確かなんだ。今度、俺とセイバーが夜の巡回に出るとき、あんたの力を貸して。
悪いな。他を当たってくれ。俺はパスだ。
Even though he says it in the next tone, the refusal is final. This is what makes this man really scary. Only now to this, he can smile while wielding a lance without mercy.
理由聞いてもいいか？
趣味じゃねえだけだ。嫌がらせの類じゃねえよ。お前には借りがある。他の頼み事なら安請け合いもしてやりたいが、仮に王様の命令でも首を横に振るだろうさ。
The way he says there's no room for discussion anymore. It's the word of a man who had never been defeated his lord when he was alive. Defied his lord when he was alive. It looks like Lancer will never get involved where she's concerned. Eh. Da must be station front. The sky is close. The tallest building in the city, tonight roof is once again strikingly lit by the strong moonlight. I don't recall have a reason for coming here. I'm not looking over the city. Instead, my eyes are always directed upward. The moon is close. The eclipse shaped the moon. Someone looks like a cup. Suddenly, I get the foolish notion that maybe I could reach it from here. I would need a rocket to go to the moon. Either that or an announcingly long ladder. Without that, I wouldn't be able to get there.
戻ろう。一人で来てもしょうがない。
I leave behind the silver thread. This is for the sky. the empty sky is. Even if it's tall or tower, I cannot reach the beginning. Ich nehme an, das war eine Anspielung auf das Ende des Spiels. So, das schauen wir uns doch mal gleich mal an. Zwei neue Emas. Oh, Chibi-Art. Ich liebe diese Chibi-Arts. Poor Ilya-chan.
演出担当のポンチエシリーズその1。
これはぜひ等身大ぬいぐるみで揃えたい出来です。
Oh ja.
正気かね。
あ
あ、これ三階堂の天井に飾ってあったけど、あれは売り物じゃないよって言われて買えなかったのよね。
誰がかな。それはおそらく中央アフリカのアザンデ族やブバンギ族が作るスローイングダガーだな。
これは違うと？宝具ということ？
いや、宝具ではない。だが得意なものだ。例えるならバーサーカーの符剣がかの者の不随物であるように。
詳しく知りたいんだけど。
単なるスペックでいいのならば述べよう。この逆手用の武器はそれぞれタルウィ左、ザリチェ右の名を持っている。左で敵の刃を絡め、右で敵の身を断つ。
和読すると左獅子神に右獅子神ね。
interesting.
形状が獣の牙を模しているのは明白だ。
Ja, fiel mir auch schon auf.
かの時代にまだ実在した悪魔の牙をご神体として捧げたのかもしれん。
Verständlich.
悪魔の牙か。
Any new wallpapers? Nope. Da würde ich mal sagen, verabschieden wir für heute. Oder für jetzt. Vielleicht spiele ich nachher noch weiter. Yay, nur noch 39%. Da mal, adios und vierte, Gianni, Matani und bye bye.